Good morning. Good morning. Welcome into this special event where we'll be breaking down everything that Apple announced in the Apple September event. iPhone 16, new Apple Watches, AirPods Pro, and Apple Intelligence might have been mentioned just a few times. Hello, my name is Pete Johns. If it's your first time here, my goal around here is to help you create, record, and release your best music. So, what does this have to do with anything then? Why am I here? Well, we all use, well, many of us use a lot of Apple products. And with the new iPhone being released, with iOS 18, with the new Apple Intelligence, there's a whole lot that may impact you and me as mobile creators or creators using Apple and Mac products. We will be breaking it down as we do each and every time. I'm here to make things easier for you. I've watched the whole 2 hours so you don't have to. So we'll be doing a quick overview up front. We'll then be doing a deep dive into everything that was announced, and we'll be finishing with some Q&A, and we're going to go shopping and seeing how much fictional money we can spend on these new Apple products. Hello to the folks who are watching live. If you're watching on the replay, there's timestamps down below. You can check those out if you would like to jump around and find out what's going on. Let's dive in, shall we, and do a quick overview here. So our mate Tim Cook jumped on stage and started talking about all things Apple update, including Apple Intelligence. Yeah, it's the star of the show, and we will be doing a count. I'll reveal at the end how many times the words Apple Intelligence were muttered during the show. It was substantial, shall we say. So what have we got? We've got a new Apple Watch. It's the Series 10. It's thin, it's light, it comes in titanium, it has a big screen, and it does a lot of cool things. Is it revolutionary? No, it's evolutionary. That's what we're finding with a lot of this stuff. You can order that one today for $3.99 or $4.99 if you want cellular, and it's available on September the 20th. Just note that date because that's going to become pretty relevant as we go through here. We also have the Apple, there's all your Apple Watch details for your Apple Watch Ultra, because yes, we've got a new Apple Watch Ultra as well, and that is from $7.99, and it's available today and comes out on September 20th. If you're a runner, a hiker, a marathoner, a swimmer, a diver, you know you're you, and you know that you want this. If you're me, you probably don't need it. We got new AirPods. Yes, they've refreshed the whole line of AirPods, including the new AirPods. Yes, we've got brand new AirPods, and there's two variations which we'll jump into in the deep dive. We got the AirPods 4 for $129, or if you want that active noise cancellation that you have in the Pros, but in a regular AirPod, they're $179. And there's some cool stuff here coming to the AirPods Pro. They talked a lot about hearing stuff. So it's going to act as a hearing aid. It's going to give you your personalized hearing profile. It's going to provide hearing protection, which is on by default. There's a lot of good things from a accessibility perspective that Apple announced in this announcement, especially with these new AirPods. Yeah, you can order them today and they come on September the 20th. AirPods Max got a refresh. What could they have possibly done to the AirPods Max? Well, they gave it USB-C. And you can order it today, and it's available on the September the 20th. So same price because they didn't actually change anything. I know. Star of the show was iPhone. There's the new iPhone lineup, including the 14, 15, 16, and 16 Pro. The brand new 16 has a whole bunch of stuff. Yes, Apple Intelligence, the star of the show. The new camera control feature is the biggest change across all of these new iPhone 16 and 16 Pro. It's a little slider that goes across the top. You can see it up over here, and it allows you to have a separate button. Yes, gone are the days that Apple are removing buttons. They're adding buttons back in here, baby, and yeah, it's interesting to see. A18 is the new chip that they'll be using in these, and they come in a range of colourful, vibrant colours. There's a little bit more. This is how much the camera matters for iPhones these days. They did an entire section, and we have an entire data sheet just about the cameras. So the new camera control, 48 megapixel fusion camera, which we'll talk about more in the deep dive. And it looks kind of stylish. It was very much focused around the camera. Comes in the same two sizes as last year, 6.1 and 6.7. they look pretty much identical apart from that new camera button. You're looking at $7.99 or $8.99 if you want the small or the large. Where my Pro's at? Yeah, iPhone Pro 16 or 16 Pro, they probably prefer me to call it, is here. And here's the change. Yeah, they've made it even bigger. They've reduced the bezels, they've pushed the screen to the outer limits of practicality, and they're giving us a 6.3 inch and a 6.9 inch display. That 6.9 is getting very close to that 8.1 inch iPad mini screen, just saying. It's a big honking screen on that one. It comes in the most boring of silver, greys, and blacks because it's a Pro model and they don't think we want to have any fun. But no, seriously, I do like the new black. It's a bit weird that they're like, and now in black. Remember when things only came in black and we wanted colors? Yeah, now black is a special order item. There's all the specs on the Pro. Like the other one, the new cameras setup. This has 3 cameras on there, just like we did in iPhone 15, but they've been slightly enhanced. The biggest change there is that they can now shoot spatial video, which is that stereoscopic image you can use for 3D-like augmented virtual reality stuff, like in the Apple Vision Pro. They're from $9.99 or $11.99. Do not buy one with 128 gigabytes, please. At least get yourself 256 if you're going for that. Pre-order on Friday, available September 20th. Yeah, 10 days from now is when all the stuff's going to go down. That is it. So there you go. There's your 5 minutes, except I wanted to give you a couple more items that we're going to talk about more in the deep dive. Audio mix for video. This is a new feature, and this is pretty cool. For someone that shoots video on the iPhone Pro now has this audio mix feature, so you can actually use studio audio or cinematic audio, and it can actually separate out the elements, your background components, from your speech. And for me, even just shooting stuff myself, this could actually come in handy. Of course, I'm not shooting restaurant scenes with real actors, but same kind of thing, same vibe. And what about this one? This is the thing that I was waiting and I was watching, and an hour and a half in, they're like, oh, and for our musicians, and I'm like, what? Yeah, voice memos. And this will be coming to the iPad too, I would imagine, because usually it's cross-compatible with the both. But voice memos now has multi-tracking, so you can like lay down a guitar track and then sing over the top of it and then save it all in the one voice memo. Now, no idea whether it's only 2 tracks or whether you can add 3 or 4 tracks of multi-tracking, but this is pretty cool. And this is something I'm hoping that we're going back more towards what we had with music memos, which is the musical version of voice memos that we had back in the day. That is it. There's your highlight. If all you wanted to know was what's coming, how much it's changed, and how much does it cost, what's coming is new Apple Watch, new Apple Watch Ultra, new AirPods across the whole range, iPhone 16, iPhone 16 Pro. You can order them all now, and you can get them by the 20th of September. What are the big changes with the watch? Slightly bigger screen, slightly thinner. Not a heap of changes. Some of those new features in the software, which we didn't talk in detail about, look kind of cool. A lot of accessibility stuff. Go for it. Great. AirPods, the Max, they're USB-C now. So they're slowly getting rid of all the lightning connectors on things. The new AirPods, well, you got those 2 versions of AirPods 4. If you want the active noise cancelling, but you don't quite want the Pro model, you can do that. The new AirPods Pro, well, they've got those new hearing options in there, which is super important because, you know, we focus a lot on eyes, but we don't focus enough on ears. And a lot of people that have hearing loss, especially if you're a musician that maybe turned your amps up too loud in the past, yeah, you probably need to keep an eye on your hearing, or an ear on your hearing, perhaps. An iPhone, look, were we expecting anything completely revolutionary this time around? No. Did we get anything revolutionary? No, not really. If you had a 14 or a 15, is this the iPhone that is going to make you throw that in the bin and grab an iPhone 16? No, unless you want Apple Intelligence. And I did promise you I would tell you the Apple Intelligence count from the presentation. So, drum roll, please. The phrase Apple Intelligence was mentioned 33 times during the presentation. In 1 hour and 40 minutes, it was 33 times, which I probably missed some too. This was me manually counting, but it was pretty evident that, yeah, they want you to be thinking about this when you're going in. So yeah, if you want the Apple Intelligence, you are going to need the new iPhone, or at least an iPhone 15 Pro. because they're the only chips that are going to support it. So any iPhone 15, 14 Pro, 14, 13 Pro, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, no, there was no 9. There is no spoon. So yeah, if you want Apple Intelligence, you'll need a new iPhone. And that's it. So that's where we're at. That's the announcements. It's a good thing because it's everything's moving forward. And I guess my biggest thing that pleased me is the focus on carbon neutral because Apple are creating a lot of products, a lot of e-waste. So the fact that they're using recycled materials in a lot of these products is actually really good and is going to help us. And they've got their target 2030 to be carbon neutral for everything by 2030. And hey, to their credit, they're doing things to do that. And the other thing is making sure that they are helping and supporting a diverse range of people. So, and you saw, if you watched the presentation, and you don't have to, you've just found it all out anyway, but they showed a diverse range of people with different abilities and how Apple can help those people through Siri, through their voice over functionality, through the display functionality, through now the hearing functionality and a lot of the audio stuff. And I honestly think Apple Intelligence might help with that as well, because if you can administer plain text things to say, hey, do this thing, I wouldn't have had to count. I could have said, hey, Buggerlugs, can you analyze this video and tell me how many times they said Apple Intelligence? Thank you. And maybe it would do it, or probably not. We'll see how we go. Alrighty, let us go and say g'day to the folks who are here with us live. Yes, streaming straight from Apple Park. I know these poor people over here, they've been standing there since like 3 events ago. Just saying. Can it pay your bills if you've got the skills to pay the bills? No. But if you start a YouTube channel about how to use Apple Intelligence, maybe you can. There you go. That's the Apple Intelligence. Apple Intelligence. We've got the emojis going on there. I didn't talk about Apple Intelligence because everything they covered was just a rehash of what they covered in the last event. So go back to my coverage of the WWDC and you'll see that. Answering text in the chat. It's time for a cognitive test. Is the voice memo thing only for Pro? They mentioned in that section. That's a good question. Is the voice memo thing only for Pro? I can't imagine that because the A18 Pro chip is what's on the iPhone 16 Pro. The iPhone 16 just has the A18 chip, so perhaps it will be on that. And yeah, is it backward compatible? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they actually do with that. Let's go Apple. Hello, Moby. There you go. Your 13 Pro is not even in the lineup. I know everything that's not 14 or better is out the door. In brand new ugly colors. Yeah, look, they're not the most effective colors, are they? Thank you. Yes, if you'd like to support me, you can do so. You can become a patron. You can become a Song Timber legend by making a donation as well. G'day to Darren Anderson, who is here as well, and Al Davis Music. Mr. Fomiati is here, and we had No More Saul, who predicted that you lit up when they... Yes, and we need to find out more about that. We'll dig, but I've got a feeling that that won't have a whole lot of information because it's not going to be available immediately. If I check my notes, I'm pretty sure they said that that's coming later this year, which is sad because we want it. We want new voice memos. But you can bet your bottom dollar of everything. It's weird. Everyone that's reaching out to Apple right now, everyone in sort of my industry that's reaching out to Apple will be like, can I have the phone? Can I have the new watch? Can I have the new AirPods? I will be, can you give me any information about the new voice memos feature? Is it going to be backwards compatible? Do you need a Pro for it? How many tracks can you do? And they'll be like, really? This is what you got out of that hour and 40 minutes, the 30 seconds where we said you could record 2 tracks on voice memos? Yes. Yes. Yeah, look, they talked about, in Apple style, in the presentation, they talked about that the battery is bigger and it has a better battery life. So it's bigger and better, but they don't have the actual details. So we'll dive in and we'll see. When we go shopping in just a moment, we'll see what is available, what we can do. Yeah, exactly. Don't buy, and that's the thing. If you're going to buy, don't buy based on the promised features that are coming, because pretty much everything outside of the new camera options is coming soon. So again, there's not a rush for a lot of folks to get out there and buy the 16 or the 16 Pro, because a lot of what you can do with it is iOS and software dependent, so it won't necessarily change until that changes. Yes, welcome. Good to see you. Good to see new folks joining the community here. We hang out, we have a good time, and talk about a lot of Apple stuff. All right, I'm going to go to my notes now. Welcome. We're at the 15-minute mark. Welcome to the deep dive, where I talk about all of the stuff that I had to sit through that you didn't have to. So let's go back to Tim. Good morning. We'll do it all again. So Tim gave us an intro and he talked about Apple Intelligence for a wee bit, and then they dived straight into the phone. Straight into the watch. So here's the Apple Watch. I'm going to grab my notes and take you through what they said about the new watch. So, bigger screen, brighter, comes in black now, 9.7 millimeters thin. They talked about the fact they've improved the speaker in the new watch, so if you're playing music without your AirPods, so that's not going to be irritating on the train when someone's rocking out to their watch, but you can do that. Faster charging, so it can charge up to full in around 30 minutes. It is lighter. There is titanium option for the watch now. It is carbon neutral. It's using the new S10 chip. The Translate app comes to the watch. That's pretty cool. So you can now use your watch if you're in a foreign country. You can use your watch directly for translating. It used to have to use your phone. So that's coming. That's cool. All the different health stuff. There's now sleep apnea detection on the new ones, and that's backwards compatible with Series 9 and the previous Ultra, which is pretty cool. And they have depth and water temperature sensors for all of you people that like to go in water, not just look at it like me. So that's your new. So that's the Apple Watch. Yeah, and as we mentioned before, available to pre-order today. You can get it on September 20th, and you're going to be paying $399 or $499 if you want GPS. What if you're an ultra person? I wanted them to call it extreme because it's Apple Watch to the extreme. But no, it's Apple Watch Ultra. It has all the great features of the Apple Watch 10 and a few more things. To be honest, I kind of spaced out a little bit when they started talking about all of the features in this. The black titanium, they were very excited about there. All the different bands and things you can get. WatchOS 11's coming, so that's a good thing. You can monitor the tides so that when you go and do your surfboard riding, you can surfboard ride and know when the tides are coming in. When you do all of your scuba diving and Ironman events, you'll know how deep underwater you are. Let's be honest, I'm a nerd and I'm an indoorsy kind of guy. I do go walking, to be honest. All I need my Apple Watch to do is to show me those rings and then go bing, congratulations, when I've walked far enough for the day. But if you're more into the extreme stuff, you can do that. Yeah, no glucose monitoring though. And they didn't mention, they had a patent violation for some of the heart rate monitoring and what is it, AFib tracking. So they were a little bit quiet on that one. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I think that'll be the holy grail if you can do glucose monitoring, because yeah, as you know, as folks who are diabetic know, the invasive way that you have to do it now is no bueno. And if someone can develop glucose monitoring that doesn't require invasiveness, that would be good. $7.99, it's only available in GPS and cellular, because if you're that extreme, you want to be able to use it on the go. Once again, you can order it today and get it on September the 20th. What about AirPods? Hands up who uses AirPods. I do. They sit in my pocket. I've got AirPods Pro, the USB-C version from a year ago, and they go everywhere with me. Are they the best headphones ever? No. Are they the most convenient headphones for an Apple product? Yes. So that's why I use them. The microphones on them are okay, but not great. But the audio playback quality is amazing, and that's why I use them. There are now 4 different models of AirPods. There's the AirPods with noise cancelling, active noise cancelling, the AirPods Pro, and the AirPods Max. Let's talk first of all about the AirPods, the regular ones. So they come with the option for active noise cancellation. They come with a USB-C and wireless charging. So that's a big improvement and update from the previous ones. So mine do that, and to be honest, didn't think it would be a big deal, but I throw these on my wireless charger at night, and then every morning they're 100%. And you might think that that's a small thing, but the difference between having to find a USB-C plug and plug in the case all the time, or just plonking them down on my bedside my bedside wireless charger at night, it's actually really handy. Personalized spatial audio. in my opinion, is terrible. That's that thing where it sort of you're looking at your phone and the audio is following you around. So I turn that off immediately. But if you're into that, great. And I love that a feature is seamless audio switching. If you've ever used AirPods with more than one Apple device, you know that seamless is not exactly the word I'd use to explain the audio switching. Haphazard and random is more the words I'd use to explain the audio switching, because if you don't have your settings set right, you're walking around and your AirPods are suddenly like, you know what? Pete's never connected these to his Mac before, and he definitely doesn't ever use them when he's at his Mac. But how about when he walks into his bedroom, we suddenly make the Mac use the earpods instead of the iPhone that he's holding in his hand at the time? Anyone else have this experience, or maybe just me? So yeah, that's the new AirPods. They're pretty good. And interestingly, yeah, if you are going to pay the extra $50 if you want that active noise cancellation, but don't want all the features of the AirPods Pro, which is this one, the AirPods Pro. Now, they really did focus around, the reason that they focused around these new hearing features is because they didn't add anything else to these. These were already USB-C. They already have adaptive audio. They already had your active noise cancellation, already had adaptive EQ. So they've decided that they would focus in on all of this hearing stuff. So yeah, they focus on the fact that, look, it does help your ears. I say to my children, if wearing ear plugs is too uncool and they're going to a loud venue, put some AirPods in. Like, put any sort of earphones in. Any sort of even passive protection can actually help with loud sounds. And again, for those of us that are in the music world, we hear loud sounds, and we, more than anyone, need to protect our hearing. So yeah, hearing protection's on. The big hearing test, and interestingly, so in the US in particular, the over-the-counter hearing aids are now an available thing and are able to just be purchased. So you don't have to go to an audiologist. You don't have to spend thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars for all the testing and all the monitoring and all the custom-made equipment. You can go into your pharmacy and you can go into your CVS and say, I'll have a hearing aid and a large bottle of vodka, please. Which still baffles me, that you can go into a pharmacy where you buy medicine and also can buy alcohol. It just blows me away. Anyway, that's beside the point. But yeah, they really did focus on the hearing side of things, which is important because, I don't know, I walk around with stuff in my ears all the time, and I would like to keep being able to hear in the future. That would be good. Alrighty, they are available on September 20th, and you can order them today. AirPods Max have USB-C. Oh, look, they do have new colors. I was a little bit mean when I said they didn't change anything. You can now get them in, like, what's that? Tangerine and burnt ochre? No, I don't know. I don't know what the colors are. Shall we talk about the big phone? Exactly. You haven't done a workout unless it's on your watch. True. It's funny, and I saw Darren Anderson was out doing a 10K the other day. And isn't it funny when you're watching people, and like everyone's just now holds their watch because it's like, all right, go. And you just need simultaneous like watch pressing because everyone has to start tracking that run at exactly the right time. It's fun. There you go. Oh, only state stores can sell hard liquor. There you go. Well, true. If you just got some bad news from the doctor and you go fulfill your prescription drugs, I guess a little bottle of scotch to wash it down and make yourself feel better is not the worst thing in the world. How do we get onto these things? Should we talk iPhone? Yeah, let's talk iPhone. Evolution, not revolution. This is the thing. You will see the videos. I'm predicting them now. I can already see the thumbnails. I can already hear the hyperbole from people saying, worst Apple events ever. There's nothing new here. Apple, nothing to see here. I can't believe they've spent an hour and 40 minutes talking about nothing. You know these videos are coming. They're going to try and generate drama. They're going to try and be negative. And that's cool. That's cool, baby. You do you. But the thing is, what do you want? Do you want to change it to a circular phone? I guess they could make a flip phone, but you know what? I don't want a flip phone. I don't want a flipping iPhone. But what are you looking for? And that's the thing. That's what I ask folks. Anytime someone complains to me about how little has been changed between the iPhone 14, 15, and 16 now, my question is, what are you looking for? What would you like? Because there's not really anything that they could add that's not already there. You've got heaps of storage. You've got a decent battery. You've got amazing OLED displays. You've got 48 megapixel cameras. Yeah, what could you actually add? But they did add a couple of things, so I'll talk about what they did add in a moment. Yeah, like a round phone would be awesome, wouldn't it? Like it's like a compact. Maybe that would be a thing for the ladies where you just like, "Tunk," it's like a compact, and once it's a mirror, and then you press a button and it like turns into your phone, and you're like calling people. I'm sure they had those on like the Jetsons or something, didn't they? Yeah. All right, what do we got? Here's your iPhone 16. You can take photos of creepy praying mantises. You can take spatial photos and videos, which we talked about before. So if you're using something like the Apple Vision Pro, you can now see all of the moments of your life in stunning 3D, unless you're me, and then you can't. Apple Intelligence is on this because it uses iOS 18 and has the new A18 chip on board, which does all the cool things. It's got a boost in battery life, and again, they don't tell us how much or how big the battery is or what it's rated at. It's just better. It's USB-C because everything's USB-C now. It's got the dynamic island, which it has had for a while, and Wi-Fi 7, which is good. And the camera control is the big new thing. So we kind of skipped over that, but the camera control button allows you to take a photo, but it's a haptic feedback, touch sensitive little bar button. So if you just want to take a quick snap, you just go click. Or you can tap it, the camera comes on, you tap it again, and within like a second, you've taken a photo. You can also use it like a point and shoot camera where you tap and hold for the focus and click it in. You can tap and use it for zoom. So if you give it a light tap, you can zoom in and out. If you give it a light double tap, you can change exposure and other settings that you would for taking a photo. So yeah, it's pretty good. You got the ability to control your camera. And it's so weird. Johnny Ive would be rolling around in his grave were it not for the fact that he's still alive. But he's not actively part of Apple's design, because for a while there, we honestly thought that Apple were trying to remove every single button. Remember all the reports of buttonless, portless iPhones that are just one slate of glass that you can only control with the touchscreen and you just had to talk to and touch? Yeah, Thankfully, they came to their senses and realized that humans like sensory things. Funny about that, we like to touch things with our fingers and feel things and not have everything on an artificial touchscreen surface. So that was probably the biggest positive for me, is that it is better that we have more buttons. I want more buttons. I want to go back to the days of the Palm Trio that has like 72 buttons on the front. Entire QWERTY keyboards. Come on, let's go old. If we're going to go round phones, let's go QWERTY keyboards too. Why the heck not? Here is the camera control. So this is all of the information about the new cameras. So as before, you've got the two cameras. You've got the 48 megapixel and the 12 megapixel camera there, which means that you can do your zoom stuff. And you can also do your higher quality. And it's called the Fusion camera because it's got a 2x telephoto lens on that one as well. And it's pretty good that it actually actively changes. It's got smart changes just based on what you're taking a photo of and how much you're zoomed in. So you've got your macro mode, your 0.5 mode for your wide angle, your 1x, and then up to your 2x zoom. You don't even really have to think about what camera you're using or what you're doing. You just grab your wonderful purple iPhone, you tap on that button, and you take it. And look, this tells you everything you need to know about this. It's the camera. The camera is more than 50% now, I think, of what people are looking for and why people are buying new iPhones. They want the best camera because your phone is your camera these days. Remember when Steve Jobs got up on stage and he's like, it's a phone, it's an internet communicator, and it's a whatever, and it's an iPod. Yeah, these days it's so much less a phone. For me, it's all about audio, video, and photo. So the phone component of a phone is about 2% for me. In fact, my phone spends so much time on Do Not Disturb, it's probably closer to 1%. I only sort of answer my phone when it's a scammer that I want to have some fun, do some scam baiting. 6.1 and 6.7 inch, so the screens are exactly the same apart from that new button. No changes there. And from $7.99 or $8.99. Let me just check my notes and make sure there was nothing else we had here. New colors. Camera control, A18, more efficient. They talked a bit about the writing tools and the private cloud compute and the emojis and the image playground and the photos. Again, I'm not covering that in detail here, but Apple Intelligence has all those things. You can make your own emojis. You can use Image Playground to create new images. It uses something called private cloud compute. And they mentioned ChatGPT one time. They said one thing about you can take a photo and you can use something like ChatGPT in a secure way to get information about things. But yeah, there was this real creepy bit where this dude was walking around. He was like taking photos, like there was a lady there, and he's like looking at her. And he takes a photo of an event. He's like, let's go to this concert together, hey. And then she's walking a dog, and he's, without even asking her, he just walks up and takes a photo of her dog. And he's like, oh, so you have a Lhasa Apso, I see. It's like, yeah, well, way to sell the creep factor there on that one. But no, in seriousness, it is easy. It looks cool. The functionalities of that sort of thing, of augmented reality, that's what I want AI to do. I don't want AI to make my music. I don't want AI to make my art. I don't want AI to do text generation and have a conversation with an AI robot girlfriend. I want AI, when I'm out and about doing stuff or when in my daily life, I want to be able to just ask a question or do a thing and it use its onboard compute to do that. Preferably on device. If it needs to go out to its private cloud compute, so be it. I've accepted, I accept our evil robot overlords, and I did many years ago. So I accept that my data is out there. I do everything I can to protect it by making sure I have secure passwords and two-factor authentication on all my important stuff. But at the end of the day, yeah, you kind of got two choices. You either live in a cave with a dumb phone or a burner phone, or you accept that you are the product, and sometimes you do give away your data to get access to stuff you might want. Should we talk Pro? Let's talk Pro. So Monday, September 9th. It's not though. It's September 10th because I'm here in the future. But at least that was pretty cool. They put the date on there, which was the actual date of the presentation. Kudos. New screen sizes. So what do you think of this? Even bigger screens. Now, for reference, I'm a big dude and I've got big hands. And what I'm going to hold up here is the iPhone. This is the current iPhone 15 Pro and the Pro Max, whatever it is. So this is the larger size. This is a 6.7 inch. So it's going to go to 6.9. This still does have, I reckon they're getting the extra 0.2 millimeters just from the bezel. Because when I look at my phone here, and then when I jump back here and look at these bezels, I think that they've just pushed that screen closer. So I would imagine, I haven't confirmed it yet, but I would imagine that we're looking at the same exact size, form factor, but they've just given that little bit of extra room on the outside. Here's the color. Look, people are going to be like losing their mind over the black because we haven't had a jet black. They called it jet black because they want to reinforce the fact that this isn't that black that they had a couple of years ago that was actually blue that they put on the MacBook Airs. No. This is so black. And they talked for a good minute about how they developed the black and how they put the pigments into the black and how the black worked with the titanium. And yeah, it was interesting. So yeah, it comes in a couple of brands of titanium and this new Beechwood aged one or something like that. I don't know what it's called. So we've got the new titanium finishes. Everything else, there's not a lot of difference. The gap between the 16 and the 16 Pro. Remember the times when it was like a massive difference? The standard to the Pro was huge. You had like so much better camera functionality. You had so much better processing power. These days, as you look around at these features, there's not a lot of difference there. The biggest thing is going to be for video. So if you're doing video, you will probably want the Pro because yes, you can do all the cool slow motion stuff that they spent a lot of time talking about. You can now do 4K 120 frames per second. That's pretty big. So if you don't know about that, your standard video, what you're watching me in right now is 1080p, 30 frames a second. YouTube does support 4K. I don't bother with it because it uses so much additional bandwidth. You don't need to see any of this business in any higher definition than 1080p. So you can do 4K. 8K is kind of like the standard now in terms of quality, but 4K is kind of the sweet spot. And 60 frames per second is that kind of, you know how 30 frames, things, yeah, they look smooth, but you can still tell you're watching TV. And then you'll watch 60 frames a second, and it almost has that Mexican soap opera sort of realism. It took me a while to get used to 60 frames a second. Well, now you're going to have 4K 120 frames a second, which you can use either for a slow motion or you can just use it to make your video buttery smooth. I was disappointed. There was no buttery smooth for the entire, and I was listening out for buttery smooth. There was gorgeous, there was beautiful, but there was no buttery smooth. So maybe they maybe they got tired of people like me having a go at them for using buttery smooth too much. So yeah, so ProMotion Video 4K 120. You still got that action button, and you've now got the camera control button as well. And they talk that look, they put a whole bunch of things about how much faster it is, and they said it's 50% faster than iPhone 14, and it's 30% faster than iPhone 15. Again, evolutionary, not revolutionary. Let me check my notes, and we'll see if we have any other notes here. No, it's all very much the same. They talked about, yeah, the titanium, the thin borders, the cameras. So you got the three cameras, I guess, is a different. You got your 48 megapixel fusion camera, you got the 48 megapixel ultra wide, and that 2x telephoto camera as well. There was, yeah, you got the camera controls and the video there. Audio. So I always, my ears perk up, pun intended, when I hear about audio. And the audio, they've got apparently 4 studio quality microphones. That doesn't mean studio quality microphones like you or I would think of studio quality microphones, but anything that improves the audio quality on board of the Pro model is good. Because again, when you're shooting video, you don't always have the time or the energy to want to set up a full microphone rig as well as your camera. So if you're just shooting, TikTok videos, Instagram Reels, whatever, and you're out there with your phone, you want the best possible quality, but sometimes you don't have the flexibility of putting a microphone in there. So better microphone, better audio, I'm all for it. iPhone 16 Pro from $999 and 16 Pro Max from $1199. And as I said before, please don't spend $1,000 to buy a phone with 128 gigabytes of storage. Buy either the Max or go to a 16 with more storage. You need more than 128. Like, think of that 4K 120 and how much space that would take up. Basically, you'd do 30 minutes of video and you'd probably fill up your 128 gigabytes of storage. So I highly, highly recommend that you don't go below 256. 512 if you can. I've had 512 as a minimum in my phones since the iPhone 12 Pro. I got the 12 Pro with 512 like 4 years ago, and I honestly think it's been a game changer. Like, the amount of time and effort and energy I've saved just not by having to switch in and out and constantly be deleting apps and constantly be removing data and removing photos and removing videos. It's so worth it. And look, I know your budget may not stretch that way, but that's why I say if you're on a budget, either leave your current phone, don't upgrade yet anyway, go to the iPhone 15, which is still brilliant, and get a refurbed one with more storage. I would say right now, if you're on the fence, if you can get an iPhone 15 with 512, I would get that over a 16 with 256 or 128. Because you will thank me in the long run, I promise you. Available Friday, and you'll get it on September the 20th. Hello from South Africa, Pradesh. I hope you are doing well. What if they were still buttery smooth, but they were so buttery smooth that it slipped right past your buttery radar? I know, maybe my butter radar was on the fritz. The desert, the titanium desert, that's right, that's what they called it. What did I call it? It's something else. Yeah, anyway, and I also want AI coffee. Speaking of coffee, let's have a quick coffee break, and then we're going to talk about, was there anything for audio for us? There was a couple of things. We'll talk about it. There was this. There was audio mix. So this is going to be good. So Apple have a whole bunch of audio processing on board. And I've actually been surprised that with all the new features, especially within Logic Pro, with things like the stem splitting and the frequency analysis that we have with the new plugins there, that they haven't done this before. But it looks like they've finally said, yep, let's use some of that audio nous and some of that functionality we have with our machine learning and actually do something with audio. So there's two things that I wanted to talk about. One is audio mix. And what audio mix proposes is that you're going to have the ability to use different. So you've got standard audio, you've got studio audio, you've got cinematic audio, you've got in-frame audio. So what this is doing, it's using those 4 new microphones to actually detect what's being said and where, which is kind of cool. And again, look, if you're shooting a real video, you'd be using microphones that aren't the onboard camera microphone. Let's be very honest with that. If you're actually shooting a scene that you're using in a professional environment, you're not using the onboard microphone. So it was a bit weird that they showed this in like a very professional setting, when I think it'll actually be better for people like me, people doing like talking head videos. If I'm out in a noisy environment, Yeah, I often you won't hear my voice, you'll hear the background. So to be able to actually say no, focus in, do it cinematic mode, push that background ambient noise out to the sides, make sure my voice is loud and clear front and center. That's going to actually be handy because the amount of times I've heard people's videos on all the different platforms and they take it with their iPhone and the quality is just bad because it's so loud around them and you can't hear what they're saying. So being able to isolate different components of the audio when shooting video, that's an option that I want. And that's probably why me, more than anyone, will probably be going an iPhone 16 Pro model when I upgrade my current iPhone 15 Pro. But again, I won't be doing it straight away for reasons I'll talk about in kind of the commentary section at the end. But just to finish off on the features, something that really floated my boat was this. I am a big voice memos fan. If you're following me along in Songtember right now, you'll know that the Songtember song that I'm working on right now actually started its life in voice memos. I actually had an idea on my phone. I'm just trying to find it now. It was called I Got a Lot to Learn Acoustic Jam, and I actually record things. I actually record things directly into my phone. So what this is giving us the opportunity to do is voice memos is being upgraded to allow multi-track recording. And it showed a lady with a guitar track, and then it showed her singing an idea over the top of that guitar track, and then having the ability, like this is all we saw there, having the ability to do some things. And let's see if we can zoom in on what she's actually doing there. So balance. So it looks like you can, you've got skip silence, you've got enhanced recording. We've already got all those. You've got the playback speed, but there's now going to be the balance. And this says to me that it's only going to be 2 tracks. Again, we don't know anything about this except what we saw on this very quick demo. But when you see something like that, it looks as though you're going to have 2 recordings and you can do the balance between them. So this is still not going to be what you use for your everything. So this isn't going to be your new recording studio. Look, we have GarageBand for that. This is your, I literally just woke up. I have a song idea on my phone at the moment called Idea When I Just Woke Up. And sometimes I actually do that. I've got an idea for a bass line and I've got the idea for the melody line. So if I was like doom doom boom doom 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 doom, and then I can go la 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 la, and if I can layer those two in voice memos, yeah, that's going to be a game changer in terms of me capturing ideas while I'm on the go. I mean, would 4 tracks or 8 tracks be better? Yeah, but if I get to that point, I'm opening up GarageBand and I'm doing it there. So for those of us that use voice recording a lot, that is going to be a bit of a big deal. Your thoughts, your opinions, I would love to hear them. Whether you're watching here live, I'm open for questions and answers. So if you've got any questions, all you need to do is put a big Q in front of your comment, and I will try my best to answer based on the information that I've got so far. And again, I literally got up, I watched the 2 hours, I made my notes, I put together my still shots, and then I talked to you about it. So I probably don't know any more than you do or you can find on the Apple website, but more than happy for us to investigate it together as we go here today. So final section here, Q&A and shopping time. So I've fired up my Safari browser over here on my screen now. Let's load it up and let's see what Apple are doing over here. Here's their little slideshow on the front page showing us all the wonderful features. You can see who the star of the show is here. It's the new iPhone, and it's definitely that camera, because look, they just love showing this. There's that the zoom that they're showing there. They're showing the new colors. They're showing the new cameras, and it all looks very shiny and new, doesn't it? Yeah, you know you want one. So yeah, if you go here to the Apple website, what's new? Well, it's the iPhone 16 Pro, the iPhone 16, and the AirPods are showing up as new here. If we go to Watch, you can see here we've got the Watch Series 10, the Ultra 2, and the Hermes model. Who's lining up for the Hermes model? Yeah, not me. So we won't spend a lot of time on the Apple Watch because this isn't a watch channel, it's a music channel. But I will say Apple Watch does have recording for voice memos, which is kind of handy, and it is good for very quick on the go kind of things. If I can't get my phone out or I'm 100% active, I always know that I can fire up the voice memo here on my phone and on my watch and record on that. But It's not something that I spend a lot of time thinking about. I will probably not get a new one at this point in time. And to be honest, this is the Series 9 that's on loan from Apple. If and when they ask for it back, and it's not if, but when, because they give me these to try it for 12 months. And guess what? I got it last year. So they'll be asking for this back. I will probably move to the Apple Watch SE because it's kind of what I need for what I do. The iPhone at 16 here. So this is the honor roll for it. Again, there's all its wonderful colors, and it's going to give us a big thing there. If we scroll on down, we've got all of the information. Yes, Apple Intelligence, which again, they mentioned 33 times. For a feature that's not actually available yet, mentioning it 33 times is actually pretty good. So Apple Intelligence for voice record. I'm trying to find if we have anything about the new voice memos app, but I'm pretty sure that they mentioned it in the Pro one. So we'll check the Pro. Let's view the pricing here. So we'll jump in here. This is here in Australia. I like to show the Australian ones because you get to see just how lucky you are in your part of the world that you don't pay the Australia tax. And look at this. They've got Apple Intelligence, like iPhone 16 and Apple Intelligence. Like, it's you can't buy it without Apple Intelligence, so I don't really understand that. Let's go pink. I like a pink phone. They look cool. And here's your storage options. So you want at least 256. I honestly think 512. If you can, again, here in Australia, it goes from what, $17.99 to $21.49. Should we embiggen this a little? Yeah, it's a little small, isn't it? Let's get ourselves some size. So I would go for that. So yeah, the non-Pro model with 512 gigabytes of storage here in Australia, $2,149. So yeah, we're not talking cheap phones here. Should we get a little bit scarifying and buy the Pro? Let's spec out a Pro, shall we? Yeah. So there's our Pro, and we'll come back and check if we can find any more details about the voice memos feature, because that's what I'm super excited about. View pricing, please. Thank you. Let's jump in and buy one. Let's go the Max. So from $21.49 now with the 6.9-inch display and Apple Intelligence. Let's go with the Desert Titanium. That's what No More Saul wanted. Looks a bit classy. So for 1 terabyte, you're looking at $2,849. So $3,000. I think my first car cost less than that. It's a small hatchback, let's be honest. Would you like a new phone or a small hatchback? Yeah, so we're not talking cheap, but Apple never say cheap. They did mention their trade-in as well. So if you do have a phone that you want to trade in, so let's say I wanted to trade in my old 12 Pro, yeah, I could get up to $380. What is it? I got the 512. Good condition, yeah. Serial number. So, yeah, I'd have to go through it in detail. But yeah, you can get yourself a few $100s off there. But to be honest, you will get better value if you sell it privately. So if you sell it on eBay or if you sell it on Facebook Marketplace, you're going to make more money, but it's going to be less convenient as well. So, but you can trade in your phone, and they'd probably love you to do that. AirPods, let's just have a quick look at AirPods. And to their credit, it just says new colors. Like, because AirPods are new. They've actually got a brand new model. But the AirPod Max, it's USB-C and it's new colors. There is nothing else there. And you can pre-order these right now for $8.99 Australian. Yes, you heard me, $899. So what's that? A small motorbike to go with your small hatchback. You can buy for the cost of the headphones. And are these good? Yes. I'm an in-ear headphone guy when I'm on the go. I don't like big clunky cans over my head when I'm on the go. New colors, sure, nice, great. Let's go back to the iPhone and see under the iPhone 16 Pro if there's any additional information in their little honor roll here, because sometimes you can get a little bit more data in here in this section than you do on the actual video. So we're going to scroll on down. There's all the cool performance issues. There's the AI learning possibilities. We've got boost your productivity, express yourself visually. Yeah, so these are the sections we're looking for. I'm trying to see if there's a section where they talked about. So camera control, you can learn all about the cool new camera control and effects there. You got that 4K 120 frames per second, which is going to be cool. You got speed back. Audio, 4 studio quality mics for high quality recording, lower noise floor, More true-to-life sounds, new spatial audio capture, makes your video sound more immersive when listening to AirPods. So audio mix. So this is what we were talking about before. So this gives me hope that we've got a little bit about this. Nerd out on Pro Video. I like that. So powered by artificial intelligence and spatial audio, no, advanced intelligence. Audio Mix lets you adjust the way voices sound in your videos using 3 different voice options. Want to decrease the background sound or just focus on the voices that are in the frame? Simply select the mix and adjust the intensity to get the sound you want after video capture. That's cool. So you don't have to preset this stuff. It's actually there in the photo, like in the video app, as well as your filters and your adjustments and your cropping. You can actually adjust the audio mix. And I don't think this will be backwards compatible because I haven't seen this in iOS 18 at all. So I don't think we're getting that. So what have we got? In frame only captures the voices of people on camera, even if people off camera are talking. That's cool. That'll be great for doing videos when you're shooting video out and about and you can hear other people's distracting voices off to the side. Studio makes voices sound like you're recording in a professional studio equipped with sound dampening walls. Great for vloggers or podcasters because the recording will sound like the mic is close to the subject's mouth, even if it's a couple of meters away. That's kind of cool. So it's acting more, the studio is more like you've actually got like an overhead boom, which can pick up sort of your speaking far away without you having to be right up on a microphone. And then you've got cinematic, captures all the voices around you and consolidates them towards the front of the screen, like the sound formatted for movies. So that's cool. So you got some options there, and you can shoot your videos. They showed The Weeknd, which is his name. There's no additional E. It's not The Weekend. It's The Weeknd. That's his name. And they showed a new Weeknd video being shot, which is cool. Yep, Viva la Revolution, 48 megapixel camera, does all the things, shoots all the stuff. Do we have, there's all your photographic styles. You can look the way you want to look. It's cool. You've got a new chip. It's the A18 Pro. You can compare it with different ones. I love that it defaults to the 12 Pro. It's 60% faster than a phone we released 5 years ago. Amazing. And you can use it for gaming. They talked a little bit about gaming. Lots of battery life, but again, it just says a huge leap. It doesn't tell you anything about... Oh, yeah, it does look. Oh, no, that's just the wireless charging. It doesn't tell you that. Compare with, iOS 18, which we talked about in the WWDC chatting. Emergency phone, making a difference with the environment. Privacy, accessibility, significant others. Do we have the... We don't have it. No, it doesn't tell us about that cool new voice memos feature. That's a shame. I wonder if we search it. I wonder if we search voice memos here on the Apple website, if we get any information about it. I'll have to check the press releases and all the other info to come back that. Oh man, don't trigger me. Transition from music memos to voice memos. That's what we all had to do. Title, abnormal. No, I don't think it's giving us any information. So that's obviously a coming soon feature that they're working on behind the scenes. When we know more about it, I'll definitely be returning to chat about it because it looks like it's going to be a cool thing, or a thing at least. Macs have problems. Mine stopped working entirely now. Ugh, that's not good. Go see the Apple Store, people. Even if stuff's out of warranty, go talk to them and look sad and say, I can't listen to my amazing Apple Music and my awesome Apple TV shows with my AirPods Max. And they might be nice. Artificial intelligence, Apple intelligence, advanced intelligence. Yeah, it's all just AI, isn't it? I know, music memos was the bomb. Diggity. It is a shame that they got rid of it, indeed. I wonder if we'll get taken down. I'm gonna play. I just want to say, I'm obsessed now with finding out more about the just gonna close that one about the new voice memos. So in the 5 minutes we have left, let's just see. Let's do the frame by frame. I might do this as a video later. I'll do frame by frame analysis of the Apple. Let's see, Apple Glow Time event. I'll see if I can really quickly find where it was at in the video. Oh, don't play the audio. Don't play the Apple video audio. We'll just scroll towards the end here. Where's the lady in her fridge? Lady in fridge. Yeah, I'll add the screen back in here. Whoop. I just need to find the lady in her fridge that was making a song. Spatial audio, audio mix. I think it was just after audio mix, wasn't it? So I won't have the... Oh, there she is. There she is. She's cooking. She's cooking up a meal while she's cooking up a storm. See what I did there? So let's turn the volume off and we'll just gently scroll through here. There's audio mix. There's voice memos. Many musicians already use this app to quickly capture song ideas. We do. And now we want to add more layers. All right, so she's adding some food, and then she's adding some layers. No, don't show her eating. Problem is I don't want to show any of the video because that's what they will take down for. I'll play the video off screen and then I'll try and find the point. I just want to pause on it just so we can see the interface in a little bit more detail. And yeah, Music Memos does still work. If you still have it, don't ever delete it because, yeah, you might have trouble getting it back on board. So let's see the lady with her voice memos. I'm just going to try and pause it at the right spot so we can see the interface. And she's coming up with an idea. She's got it. Okay, here we go. So she recorded her first track in, and down the bottom corner here, there is a 1 and a 2 button. So that was Guitar 1 that she recorded yesterday at midnight, or was that 49 seconds? I don't know. But she recorded it yesterday. So it looks like you press the 2 button and then it brings up, it grays out the one behind. Let's take a risk here. Let's just play a little bit of this. And she records in and you record the vocals over the top. Okay. So it looks like that's the way it's going to work with the actual recording. And then when she came to mix it afterwards, they showed another little clip as she was mixing it. So let's just find that part here. She's jamming out to her own song. You got to jam out to your own songs. All right, let's take another quick screenshot here. So simultaneously recording your voice. So now she's recording over the top and see how it's got the new red one going over the top. So she's singing along to the guitar and it's adding that second track recording in. I'm just going to keep running the tape. How old am I? Running the video. And then when she gets to the mixing part, all right, let's zoom in on this sucker. So she's getting to the mixing part. This is the bit where she's got that balance, and it looks like she can then adjust the balance between the two, so she can hear more of her voice and less of the guitar. Yeah, okay. That's the thing. That's what it's doing. So that's cool. So it's basically like a little mini 2-track recorder that you just store in your pocket, which, look, it's not as handy as having GarageBand and opening that up, but in terms of capturing those quick ideas that you just want to layer up a couple of layers or work on a harmony or work on a instrumental and then record audio over the top, you can do that. That is it. Yeah, look, you can look at this 2 ways. You can say, how underwhelming, nothing new. Or you can say, technology has reached such a huge and cool advanced point in the world that there's really nowhere else for it to go. So whichever way you look at it, you do you. But for me, this is not an instant buy for anything. There's nothing here that's going to move the needle for most folks. If you are big into video, having the additional audio options with the cinematic mode and the 120 frame per second 4K video is going to be an improvement, but not necessarily something that you need out of the gate. Outside of that, yeah, it'll be a nice addition. And I think that the sweet spot would be if you're still on a 12 or a 13, I think the time has come for you to upgrade. If you desperately want Apple Intelligence, I think the time's come to upgrade. However, I would give a caveat that wait to see people like me be your guinea pigs and start using it and make sure it actually delivers what's been promised. And outside of that, I think if you're on a 14 or a 15 right now in September of 2024, you don't really need to do anything. I think you've got a good device and you've got a good camera and you've got a good screen and everything's cool. From a musician perspective, does this change anything? Again, if you're shooting video, you might want the new camera for some better quality video, and those couple of audio options we talked about are kind of interesting, but that's it. That is going to do it for this one. Yeah, music memos. Last time I opened, the drums were muted. Yeah, I think that's happened now. I think they've removed the drums and the bass and they no longer work, which is very, very sad to me. That is going to do it for this one. If you're watching on the replay or live, please leave a like if you had a good time here, or if you preferred hanging out with me and getting the real deal on this stuff instead of having to watch all the other words and all the keywords and catchphrases that are used. 33 times Apple Intelligence we use, just to remind you on that. And as we say at the end of each and every video here, well, actually first, hit the like button if you had a good time. Do leave me your comments. Let me know if you're lining up to buy any of this stuff, if you've got feedback, if you've got views and opinions on this. The comment section is open 24/7. And until next time, folks, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, keep creating, and I'll see you for some more Songtember goodness in the next couple of days. Bye for now.